What is going on, guys? It is Laker Nation all day. You know how we do in here. It's all about us. And first things first, Merry Christmas to everyone. Hope you're having a great holiday season. Hope you're having a great Christmas day. Hopefully, it's just a happy day overall for everyone. But let's go ahead and get into the game. You know, you see it on the screen, right? End of the third quarter. The Nets are up 102 to 82. And you know what? I'm not that mad. I am not that mad because ultimately I saw things in this game that led me to believe that we will be back eventually, and it's going to take time. You know, like I mentioned before, we've had our fair share of injuries. We've had a lot of COVID cases on our team. So, when we really started to start winning, right? We're 16 and 13, we really start to get in a groove on, and then we obviously have a lot of players out with COVID and AD's injury. We lose four in a row, about to be a fifth. I'm not pissed because what I saw from this game is that there was more effort, not necessarily on the defensive end, but there were spurts of it. And overall, the players are coming back, right? We see Dwight back. We see Malik Monk back. I like Stanley Johnson, Darren Carlson. He came through, right? So our team is starting to come back slowly but surely, right? We still have a couple of players that we need, like Trevor Ariza and Kendrick Nunn, but ultimately, what I believe is we will be back. And I'm going to go a little more into the specifics of the game, but overall, I thought our half court offense was significantly better than usual, right? You know, we saw so many screen and rolls from players like LeBron and Russell Westbrook, right? It was a much more reliable half court set offense. So then we don't have to necessarily rely on fast paced offense, right? We've seen it in the past couple of years where the Lakers are not necessarily the best half court offense team. That's why they run with the ball. That's why they try getting a quick basket on the offensive end. But what I saw this game was, listen, LeBron would send the screen and he was rolling, getting easy layups. That happened probably like 4 or 5 times. Same thing with Russ. Same thing with a couple of other players. So what I'm simply saying is half court offense is so important, especially in the playoffs. So when I see this happening, even though we're losing by 20, it's still something to take away from the game in a positive light, right? So I'm not necessarily concerned about this team. I know that they'll get their act together because, we look at LeBron's team when he first joined Cleveland again in 2014. They started 23 and 23, so just to put into perspective, we're going to be 16 and 18, so it's not the end of the world. We're still in the playoff picture, and we still will make the playoffs, especially with the play-in tournament. So I'm not concerned for our team. My number one issue is that we just have to be healthy. We need to be not having COVID, and I believe that our chemistry will get rocking again. And when our players come back fully healthy, and we'll start winning games. That's what I genuinely believe. But let me go into the actual game itself. Obviously, the game's not over, but I think I've seen what I needed to see. So let's start off with Russell Westbrook. So far, 13 points, 9 rebounds, 11 assists. You know, he didn't necessarily have his best game, right? He shot 4 of 17. He wasn't playing that well in terms of offense, right? But he was really trying to improve the pace of the game. He brings the energy to the game. And I'm not going to hold this against him because of the fact that, listen, we're down by 23. And if you're down by 23, it's not solely because of one player. It's usually because of the team combined. And I honestly believe that the defensive intensity just was not there tonight. I mean, you saw the body language. I don't want people to overreact because I see a lot of people suggest to trade Russ or trade AD or fire Frank Vogel. They're not the problem. They are simply not the problem. And I guarantee you that Russ will get his act again moving forward, right? I think this season he's been playing pretty well. So I'm not going to hold this game against him. LeBron James, once again, another great performance. So far, 26 points and 7 rebounds, 9 of 16 of shooting. A lot of this included him driving into the basket. He wasn't necessarily settling for too many threes, like he would, but he was just scoring with ease, right? Like I said, the pick and roll with LeBron being the roller as opposed to him being the facilitator. That is the biggest difference because it's like, do you want someone like THT rolling or LeBron rolling? You can mix it up, have a different style of offense, right? If you have someone like LeBron rolling to the paint, it's really, really hard to stop. The only way that you can really stop that is hopefully you can double team him or maybe even triple team him. But guess what? The facilitator that LeBron James is, He is the kind of guy that's going to understand the defensive scheme and what they're throwing at him. So he'll be able to throw it out to someone like THT, Wayne Ellington, Malik Monk, wide open for three. So, honestly, I like what I saw from LeBron. Another fantastic game. So he's going to keep it up. Taylor Horn Tucker, I mean, I don't really have much to say about him. He has some spurts, and, listen, he's young. He's 21 years old, and he doesn't necessarily fit LeBron's play style in the sense that he's not a spot up shooter. But I believe that he should come off the bench, right, as the primary point guard, primary ball handler coming off the bench. I think he would be deadly like that. And, I want to talk about Malik Monk, because even though we're losing by 23, Malik Monk is one of those guys who can get you a basket, who can really energize the team. And that's something we've been desperately missing for the past week or so. I mean, you think about it, Malik Monk, right? You think about our team, it's genuinely older, but Malik Monk is 20 something, 24, and he's one of those guys that could just get a spark on the offensive end going. And 12 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. I know the stats might not tell the whole story, but there were times when he just really energized the team, and we had brought in the deficit down to 6 points, to 4 points, right? But ultimately they couldn't sustain that consistency, and that's going to take a few games for them to do. But now that everyone's coming back, I guarantee you Malik Monk will lead the way in terms of the energy department. This Laker team will be back, and I am not concerned whatsoever. I know the folks on Twitter, they're probably going to say, trade this person, trade that person, fire this coach, fire that coach. It's funny because they were talking about how you should fire Frank Vogel. Now Frank Vogel's not coaching. They're still losing games. It just goes to show it was never Frank Vogel's fault. AD, he's not playing, and they're still losing. That just goes to show AD was never the only problem. So what I'm saying is, you win and lose as a team, and the only way to get consistency is if you keep playing together. Stick through it through thick and thin, and you can't cheat the process. You can't just try to cheat the process by trading your players away to create a super team in which you would believe that it would give you, a huge advantage. In order to build something great, it takes time. You cannot expect this Laker team to go 82-0, and if they don't, then you gotta trade people. That is why I believe that you gotta stay from social media and just Twitter and all of that in general. But I like what I saw from the Lakers team offensively. Defensively, I do believe there's some potential there, right? I still trust Frank Vogel as our coach for defensive purposes. And I like what I saw in our half-court set. So I'm still optimistic about this team. I mean, like I mentioned before, yes, I expected them to go through struggles like this, especially when you lose players, lose coaches. But moving forward, I expect this team to start winning some games, and they will do that, I guarantee it. But like I mentioned before, Merry Christmas, guys. I hope you're having a great holiday season. But that's all for this video, man. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Christmas day. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed this video. Comment down below what your thoughts were from the Lakers falling short or really losing to the Nets in general. And subscribe for more. Alright, guys. Peace out and go Lakers.